So yesterday, President Trump came out with this post on social media saying he thinks Ukraine can actually get back all of the land, a very different tone than what we saw from him even just 3 weeks ago. He said that the European Union would have to be on board with this. So what is the path forward?
Well, it was also a very positive statement. I mean, before I also met with the Ukrainians who had a meeting with President Trump and also said that it was a very good meeting, asking, how, U.S. can support also Ukraine and saying that, Russia's economy is not doing well, all what we also read in the post. So we have been on that line and we really welcome the shift in the tone.
The president also talked about even going further into even Russia. Is Europe prepared to buy more weapons to then give them to Ukraine?
Well, we are doing a lot. I mean, this year only our military support to Ukraine has been 25 billion, which is more than any other year. It is clear that we have to help Ukraine to defend themselves because, as President Zelensky said in his speech as well, I mean, if we allow, Russia will just go further. We have to push them back. We have to also say that this is not okay and you cannot let the aggression pay off.
Do you have a sense of which European countries, though, are willing to put in more funds when it comes to Ukraine, whether or not it's funds directly or to actually buy those weapons?
Well, we have different initiatives also to help European countries to help Ukraine, but also invest more in their own defense. And we are putting a lot of funding on the table. Of course, it is difficult. It requires also member states to make some very difficult decisions like cutting social spending, but also raising taxes, which are not popular. That is very clear. But we are in this situation where we have to invest in defense. And the problem is that you need it when you actually don't feel the need yet. So you need to do the decisions way before you actually need the defense capabilities. And if you do it, it acts as a deterrence so that the aggressor would not look your way.
Trump also said yesterday the U.S. is prepared for more powerful sanctions, robust sanctions tariffs on Russia, but only if the European Union is in lockstep. Now, we have seen movements the European Union is talking about when it comes to things like fossil fuels. They are ready to do these tariffs. But we are 3 years and 7 months into this war. Why did it take for President Trump to convince Brussels to do what Brussels probably knew from the very beginning they had to do?
No, excuse me, we have done 19 packages of sanctions and we would like our partners to be in lockstep with us because we have put a lot of pressure. Then next, the package that we propose now has also crypto, financing institutions, also energy. Yes, what President Trump says about energy is true. We have been saying for the...
I know you specifically have been talking about this for years.
For quite some time, because we have been dependent on Russia and now we are phasing out. And it's true that it should be faster. We are trying to push those few member states who are still buying Russian energy to show that actually if you want this war to stop, you need to really cut off the funding of this war, which comes from the fossil fuels.
Hungary, Belgium, France. Do you think they're really prepared to do this?
I mean, these countries, the countries who are dependent on, some are making great steps and some are not. So clearly, some are great friends of President Trump, which has been also our appeal to President Trump to talk to them, like Hungary, for example, so that this is necessary. The neighbors around, Hungary, for example, have proposed solutions so that they can get energy from the neighbors and do not have to depend on Russia. But so far, they haven't really wanted to, as the energy is much cheaper.
Do you view this posture now from the United States? Some are calling it a full 180. Do you view it as concrete? Is this tangible? How long will it last?
We welcome those statements and the change of tone, like I said. So let's build on this. Also, really tangible steps. I mean, on the European side, we have been keeping this line, also putting our money where our mouth is. Supporting Ukraine, their defense capabilities, investing more in our defense, and also pushing back Russia, putting pressure on Russia. What we want to see from all our allies.
One country that could really put pressure on Russia is China. Given the fact that you've been working with the United States when it comes to Russia, could more be done between the European Union and the U.S. to put pressure on China to then put pressure on Putin? The U.S. has tariffs on China. Is it time for the European Union to consider putting the walls up on China, not just what's going on in Ukraine, but also they're pretty much dismantling the European industrial base?
Well, it is true. We have two big worries with China. One is the economic coercive practices that they are using against European companies, which are really hurting our companies, industry and economy. And the other part is them being the key enabler of Russia's war in Ukraine. So we had the EU-China summit. We are stressing all these points and really raising these points and also acting on them. If you look at the sanctions package, we are sanctioning also Chinese companies who are enabling this war to continue. So we are not, or let's put it this way, that we are believers of free trade, so we are not using tariffs as the measures, but we are putting pressure via other means.
I just want to finish on the incursions when it comes to European airspace. Friday, it happened in Estonia, a country you used to lead. Is Estonia and these countries prepared to do what the President Donald Trump thinks NATO allies should do, shoot these Russian aircrafts down?
Well, NATO is a collective defense alliance, which means that attack on one is attack on all. This is Article 5. So it's clearly if those drones or airplanes are violating the airspace, are creating security risks, then there has to be a proper response. The Estonia asked Article 4, which is consultations, how to continue, and all the member states in NATO, including the United States, have vowed to keep up their commitments.